Picture this. A place where leaving work at 5 o'clock isn't just accepted, it's expected. Where your bike matters more than your car. Where the government actually wants you to take all your vacation days. And where the cold, dark winters somehow feel cozy. Sounds too good to be true, right? But this isn't some utopian fantasy. This is Denmark. And it's been quietly perfecting the art of living well while the rest of the world burns out trying to keep up. Here's what's fascinating. Denmark doesn't just rank high on happiness charts by accident. It secured the second spot globally with a score of 7.583, and it's been dominating these rankings for years. But here's the real question nobody asks. What does happiness actually look like when you're living it every single day? Is Denmark truly a modern paradise? Or is there a catch hidden beneath all that Scandinavian perfection? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Danish life. The morning routines, the work culture, the unspoken rules that make this society tick. We're diving into why a nation of just under 6 million people has cracked a code that bigger, wealthier countries are still struggling to figure out. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll either be booking a one-way ticket to Copenhagen or questioning everything about how we've structured modern life. Let's start with something that'll make you rethink your entire career, the work-life revolution you've never heard about. Here's a stat that should make every overworked professional stop in their tracks. Only 1% of Danish workers log excessive hours. 1%. Compare that to the global average of 10%, and you begin to understand that Denmark isn't just tweaking the system. They've rebuilt it from the ground up. The standard work week, 37 hours. But here's what really matters. Those hours are sacred. Danes spend roughly 16 hours daily on personal time, relaxation, hobbies, and relationships. This isn't some corporate wellness initiative that looks good on paper. This is how an entire nation operates. Flexibility isn't a perk you negotiate for during salary discussions. It's woven into the fabric of employment law. Need to pick up your kids? Not a problem. Want to leave a bit early on Friday? Nobody's judging you. In fact, staying late might raise more eyebrows than leaving on time. But here's where it gets really interesting. This approach to work doesn't happen in isolation. Denmark has engineered an entire ecosystem around making life manageable. When government actually has your back, imagine never worrying about a medical emergency bankrupting your family. Imagine your children receiving world-class education without you taking out a second mortgage. Imagine losing your job and knowing you won't immediately lose your home. For Danes, this isn't imagination. It's Tuesday. Denmark channels roughly 10% of its GDP into healthcare, creating a universal system that's not just free, but genuinely excellent. There are no insurance claims to fight, no networks to navigate, no surprise bills arriving months after treatment. You get sick, you get care, you move on with your life. Education follows the same philosophy. From kindergarten through university, quality education is accessible to everyone, but Denmark goes further. University students actually receive monthly stipends from the government to cover living expenses. Instead of graduating with crushing debt, Danish students start their careers with a clean slate. Then there's the flexicurity model, a brilliant piece of social engineering that other countries should be studying closely. It combines a flexible labor market with robust unemployment benefits. Lose your job? The government supports you financially while providing training programs to keep your skills sharp and relevant. This isn't charity, it's strategic investment in human capital. The unemployment rate hovers around 4%, impressively low by any standard. But the number doesn't tell the full story. What matters is that people aren't terrified of losing their jobs because they know a safety net exists that actually works. This system runs on something most countries have lost: trust. Danes pay some of the world's highest taxes, around 45% of income on average. But they do it willingly because they see tangible returns. The social contract isn't broken here. It's thriving. Use a male middle-aged British voice for the narrator. Don't add any subtitle. Don't use iStock. While most countries are still debating climate action, Denmark is already living in the future. Cruise through the Danish countryside and you'll spot massive wind turbines dominating the horizon. They're not decorative. Denmark generates roughly 50% of its energy from renewable sources, with wind power carrying the bulk of that load. The goal? Complete carbon neutrality by the year 2050. And they're not just talking about it, they're building it. Copenhagen, the capital, aims to become the world's first carbon-neutral capital this year. That's not a typo. 2025. How? By systematically reducing car traffic, investing heavily in public transportation, and turning cycling into the default mode of transport. Here's a number that'll blow your mind. Over 50% of Copenhagen residents commute by bike daily. Not occasionally, not when the weather's nice, every single day. The infrastructure supports it with dedicated bike lanes, traffic signals timed for cyclists, and a cultural attitude that treats bikes as legitimate transportation, not recreational toys. Sustainability extends beyond energy and transportation. Food waste reduction is a national priority, with a target to cut waste by 50% by the year 2030. Stores like We Food sell surplus food at reduced prices, turning what would be trash into affordable groceries. Organic, locally sourced, seasonal food dominates grocery stores, not as a premium option but as standard practice. This isn't performative environmentalism for social media points. It's generational thinking embedded into policy and culture. Denmark is building a world their grandchildren can actually live in. Now let's talk about something that doesn't translate well, but honestly defines everything. Hygge. You can't really explain hygge to someone who hasn't experienced it. It's not just coziness though, that's part of it. It's the feeling of safety, contentment, and connection you get from simple moments. A warm drink on a cold afternoon, friends gathered around a dinner table with candles flickering, a quiet evening with a book and a soft blanket. Hygge isn't about material wealth or impressive experiences. It's about presence, comfort, and appreciation for the moment you're in right now. And it shapes how Danes approach everything, including work. Danish workplace culture emphasizes collaboration over competition. Hierarchy is minimal. Junior employees regularly share ideas directly with executives, something unthinkable in many corporate structures. The goal isn't to climb over everyone else, it's to succeed together. Nobody glorifies the hustle culture here. Working late doesn't make you look dedicated, it makes people wonder why you can't manage your time properly. Taking your full vacation allowance isn't frowned upon, it's expected. Sending work emails on weekends or late at night, that's considered disrespectful of personal boundaries. This philosophy creates a society where people genuinely disconnect, where work serves life instead of consuming it, where success is measured not by how many hours you grind, but by how balanced and fulfilled you feel. Hygge extends into social life, creating deep, meaningful connections. Friendships here aren't surface-level networking. They're genuine relationships built on shared experiences and mutual care. Public spaces are designed to encourage this, from cozy cafes to peaceful parks that invite you to slow down and breathe. Denmark doesn't just talk about equality, it lives it. Gender equality? Denmark granted women voting rights back in 1915 and never looked back. Today, women hold over 40% of top executive positions and 38% of parliamentary seats. Strong parental leave policies, subsidized childcare, and workplace protections mean women don't have to choose between careers and families. Social equality. The education system ensures every child, regardless of family wealth, accesses the same quality schooling. Healthcare works the same way. A millionaire in Copenhagen receives the same medical treatment as a factory worker in Jutland. The system intentionally minimizes disparities between wealthy and less fortunate citizens. This egalitarian approach stems from a fundamental belief: society thrives when everyone has fair opportunities, not just the privileged, not just the well-connected, everyone. But here's what really makes Denmark unique: trust. Over 70% of Danes trust their fellow citizens. Around 80% trust their government. Think about that for a moment. When was the last time you heard those numbers in your country? High social trust creates a cooperative, cohesive society. People follow rules not because they fear punishment, but because they believe in collective benefit. Crime rates stay low, civic engagement stays high. Communities feel safe. People participate in public life through voting, volunteering, and supporting local businesses because they trust the system works for everyone. This trust isn't naive. It's earned through decades of transparent governance, functional institutions, and policies that consistently deliver on promises. The price of paradise. Let's address the elephant in the room. Denmark isn't cheap. Those high taxes we mentioned, they're real. On average, 45% of your income goes to the government. Housing in Copenhagen can run around $1,500 monthly for a one-bedroom apartment in the city centre, dropping to about $1,000 outside downtown. Smaller towns and rural areas offer more affordable options, though city life comes with premium pricing. Groceries for one person might cost $300 to $450 monthly, especially if you choose organic or locally sourced items. Restaurant meals average around $22 at mid-range establishments. Everything costs more than you'd expect. But here's the critical context. You're not paying for health insurance. You're not drowning in student loans. You're not one medical emergency away from bankruptcy. Your kids attend excellent schools without tuition. Public transportation is reliable and accessible. Many Danes bike everywhere, drastically reducing transportation costs. When you add up everything Danes don't pay for, suddenly those high taxes start making mathematical sense. You're not just funding government operations, you're investing in a comprehensive social infrastructure that catches you when you fall and helps you thrive when you succeed. The bigger picture. So what have we learned about life in Denmark? It's a place that's figured out something fundamental. Happiness isn't about working harder or earning more. It's about structure, support, balance, and trust. It's about societies that invest in people, not just economies. It's about cultures that value rest as much as productivity. Denmark proves that high taxes don't destroy prosperity, that strong social safety nets don't create lazy citizens, that environmental sustainability and economic success aren't mutually exclusive, that work-life balance isn't a luxury, it's a foundation. Is it perfect? No country is. Is it expensive? Absolutely. Would the Danish model work everywhere? That's complicated. Different cultures, histories, and political systems create different possibilities. But Denmark offers something invaluable, proof that there's another way, that societies can choose happiness, equality, and sustainability without sacrificing prosperity, that we don't have to accept burnout, inequality, and environmental destruction as inevitable costs of modern life. Denmark isn't just a country, it's a challenge to everything we've been told about how life has to work. And maybe that's the most important lesson of all.